Hi, beautiful Pisces. Welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Pisces, this is your monthly read for July. And we're going to start with 3 initial energies here. Get all the cards out on the table and then get into the energies. So, Pisces, for the month of July, what is going on? Oh, upside down. And we're going to get the initial ones, and then we're going to get the clarifiers straight away. So we'll get a big overview. And then there's going to be an extension if you're interested in that. You're so welcome there. Okay, I need the other card. Ooh, orphaned. Orphaned, abandonment, or you might just move out of older belief systems, like you're not familiar, perhaps very, very familiar, but perhaps you just don't feel comfortable is what I'm looking for. Perhaps you don't feel comfortable in the situation or the realm that you're in. It can even be your belief system. Like there's something that's pushing you a little bit out of your comfort zone or pushing you a little bit out, like into the next evolution of your journey, per se. Okay, second card and third card, please, for Pisces for the month of July. There's the second one. Mending. So we are mending something, we're fixing something, we're healing something. We're going to see what this is about. So we have 5 and then we have 52. So 5 is all about overcoming those hurdles, overcoming conflict, overcoming, but also great opportunity for change. And then 52, we have another 5 there, but with a 2, which is all about balance. So it's like making that conflict come into balance. And then we have, add those up, we have number 7, which is the completion. Like you've done, it's like you've hung around in this situation, you've hung around in this belief system long enough. Like this is it. You put down every single seed you possibly can. You have squeezed out every single drop of information or something that will cause your inner evolution. And like you're done here. The next level is now available to you. And it is not only available to you, it's actually causing you, like if you just stay put in your older belief system or in your older realms just because it's familiar, it's going to start to affect your body. It's going to start to affect your system. Like it's going to weigh you down. So it's like we need to move on here. And you're in the final week of that. So we have 52 there, 52 weeks in a year, right? And we're in the 52nd week of the situation. So you're just about to come out of it. Third card, please, for Pisces for the month of July. Between worlds, yes. So we're in between worlds. You're not out of the old one just yet, and you're not in fully the new one just yet. You're not stuck in the middle, but we have movement in between these worlds. Fits perfectly. And then we're going into the clarifiers, and then we're just diving into the energy. So Orphan, why is that here for Pisces, please? Why is that here for Pisces for the month of July? Orphaned. This might just be for one person, but is there one person that's left at the altar? Stay determined and move forward. Be prepared for any possibility. There has been drought for quite some time. There has been drought, but like we're coming. This is about like not giving up. For the life of you, do not give up. Just continue to move forward. Is there no, there's not another one. So mending, why is that here for Pisces, please? Mending. For the mending, wow, we'll have a lot of guidance. We have Knight of Gabriel, which is a new energy, a new message, a new understanding sort of coming into your life together with the divine guidance there. Yet another number 5. So this has been either it's the magnitude, like something really profoundly huge has happened in your life, and it has been really tough to move on from it. Or this is like it doesn't have to be either or, it can actually just also be both. They can also be this long-lived, you've just stayed in this certain belief system, in this certain way of thinking about yourself, way of thinking about other people, what to expect from other people. Just have been staying there for this like long period. And then it's quite tough to break free from that, because it's sort of so ingrained in your DNA. It's so who you are, so who you think you are. But it's not really truly who you are. But it's harder to, I don't know if I talked about this before, but like, so my oldest son is hearing impaired and like borderline in deafness. And you know, he's been this way since he was 4 years old, and he's now turning 22 this year. So it's everything he knows. He has a wanting to hear again. He wants to have his hearing back. But when we talked about like why we think it might have not, because every element in the brain and the ear is there for him to hear, but he just doesn't. So it's a little bit of an enigma. And so talking to him about it is like, okay, so what thing do you think is in the way of you? And just listen to this, Pisces, whatever's going on in your life. What thing do you think is in the way of you shifting into this new version of you, or like letting go of this block of not hearing? And he's like, it's everything I know. It's who I am. It's who I've become. It's like, it's every friend I have is hearing impaired. I'm using sign language. I'm like, it's who I am. I was like, it's not who you are. It is so not who you are, but it's, if you identify with it and like, who are you if you take this thing away? It's such an identification with who you believe yourself to be that if you remove it, it might feel scary. It might feel like you're completely out of control, and like where does that leave you? So there's something about like, there's new energy coming in, there's divine guidance here, and this is like a 555 situation now. So it's a big one. It's like, either you would consider like, no, not a big thing going on in my life. No, nothing that I can think of. I really seem to never really be able to shift my life when it comes to job or relationships, or, you know, it doesn't have to be all of it. And like, it's just, you know, it doesn't come easy. Then there's the thing, there's the longevity of like, it has become who you are, although it's not. Okay. And then we have between worlds. Between worlds. So can we clarify that for Pisces, please? Between worlds. Why is that here? For the month of July. Wow. I love this for you. So you're going to have some sort of change of perspective. There's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. And then the sun. So we're seeing clear, beautiful results. The sun card is the most joyful, gorgeous card in the deck. And it's between worlds, so like we see where you're headed. You're going to have a change of perspective. There's going to be an aha moment, or like a light bulb moment for you. There's going to be a change in perspective that allows for you to step into the new there. We're going to go a little bit deeper into each and every one of these. So we're starting with the Orphan. So this Orphan card can be that you, for the most part of your life, has felt a little bit like the ugly duckling, or like the one that doesn't fit in, or like you never really knew your place. It can literally be that you're an orphan, like you have been given up as a child from birth. It can be that you feel abandoned, that you just don't, there's no room for you. There's no real, like, you don't really know for sure that the world is a better place because you're here. And that sucks, Pisces, because that is the truth, that you are such an addition to this world. You're necessary. With all your depth and all your wisdom and all your different perspectives. But it's like curse when you get a little bit stuck there. When when it's analyzing of everything, where it's so much depth to everything. And when you're sort of in the darker realms of that, it can sometimes be a little bit tricky to get out of. This can also be like, to not judge yourself for wanting to leave a situation that just does not fit you anymore. Like you're just that different. You just have probably your entire life you've just felt different, and that is okay for you to like, okay, so this is almost like the friend group that you're assigned to because this is the school that you went to, and so therefore those friends just kept, you just kept with them. Or this is the coworkers that you're supposed to spend time with just because you're at that job. These are the coworkers that comes along with it, and you're just supposed to get along with them. Or this is the tricky one, or this is your family. And so you were born into this family. It was probably very, very closely considered, much detail to why you were supposed to come into this particular family. I don't believe in like luck or chance or anything like it was particularly designed this way. And sometimes people might question that, but still, it's your family, right? And do you have the right to leave your family when it doesn't, when codependency, it's so much easier, and I'm not saying it's easy, but it's so much easier to see perhaps codependency when it's like a lover, a business partner, a friend, something like that, like sort of has come along later in life. But when it's a family member, like, are you in a codependent relationship with your mom, with your dad, with your children? Is there a situation where you just feel like you've outgrown the situation, but because it's family, you stick around? Or like you are in no way worthy of hearing the words that are coming out of your parents' mouths or their belief system about you, and yet we stick around because they're mom and dad, right? Or they're mom and mom, or dad, like whatever your situation is. So there's something here, like you have the right, this Orphan card, this energy is about also having the right to, like, you don't have to stick around and you don't have to be like everyone else. You have your own groove, your own fashion, your own style, your own way of being, and you do not to be, liked, to be included in this earth. You don't have to, quote unquote, fit in. Right? You have the right to be your own unique self. And the sooner you get there, the better. And I think that this probably, because of all the fives here on the table, this probably has been your biggest, let's call it teacher. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's a teacher every once in a while. It just feels really, really, really hard. Like you were dealt some really harsh cards here. But this is the greatest teacher, to just find that truth about yourself, right? And we have the Nine of Giver, which is so much about like, don't give up. You put down the seeds, you put down the seeds, you put down the seeds, and it's almost like, and you don't see any growth, and you don't see any growth, you don't see that shift. It's just you being sort of alone in this world, and no one really gets you. And it's a little bit over analyzing. It's a little bit like going deep, but it's going deeper in the lower realms of the vibration. So you can easily get stuck there, and the mind just goes haywire. It's like it's no attachment with the heart whatsoever. It's just, how do I get out? Like it's a survival mode. Do not give up, Pisces. This is like the time where everything shifts for you. This is a time where everything shifts for you. And number 9 there, it's an ending. We're wrapping this up. It's an ending. It's an ending and it's a mending. So this is very much also about like forgiveness, like forgiving yourself for maybe being a little bit tough on yourself, for not being able. It's so interesting how we sort of judge ourselves. You're the magnificent one. You're the glory. You're the magic, And then just because there's just one of you, and there's not too many that sort of looks like you, walks like you, talks like you, behaves like you, you're the weird one. Why? Why isn't it weird that everyone else is so the same? Sameness, it creates no movement whatsoever. But there's a mending going on right now. I think there's a mending between you and your heart. There's a mending between you and the universe, between you and your inner being. They can even be amending, like if you've also held a lot of people accountable for your, we don't tend to do, we don't mean to do that. Like we don't mean to hold other people accountable for our own disadvantages, for our own lack of confidence, for our own, we don't mean to do it, but we sort of tend to. That, well, it's because mom and dad always told me this. It's because it's why I can't sort of keep any money, because they told me that I was bad with money, or like whatever that is. I can never hold down a relationship because so-and-so always told me that. Like we sort of put that blame or that projection on the outside. And this is when you're starting to really mend. You just really mend those inner, like there's a lot of healing going on here. And that it's almost like you're stepping up, taking responsibility. Like, okay, so that might have happened. It doesn't mean that it's not true. It doesn't mean that it's not true. It just doesn't help you anymore. It doesn't help you to project that those are at fault for you not moving forward. We know that now. That's all everyone have done. Like we're just gathered enough for us to fuel ourselves into this gorgeous place. And that's where you're at right now. We're in the 52nd week. Like I said, we're wrapping it up. And there's new energy coming in, and it's rather quick. With the night energy is always rather quick. And it's like, it's time to get going and time to really intently listen to your guidance. The divine guidance is here in this very situation. If you want to get out of a long-term treating yourself poorly, and I mean being around relationships you should not be in because they're toxic, having to survive or struggle every single day because money just is not enough. Feeling the lack of confidence or the lack of worthiness to just really be the best light in the world that you can be, and so that you can fully live your purpose. Anything of those categories is depriving of your own light. And if we just really spend time listening to that inner guidance right now, like there's a really beautiful way and a chance to really get out of this old pattern of yours. And you seem to already be there, at least for some of you. You're in between worlds. So you're seeing and feeling and sensing a little bit of the old is a reminder there. But then there's this new opportunity. There's this new way of life. There's this new way of thinking. You're starting to see more and more evidence of where you're headed. And there is a change of perspective. There is an aha. There is instead of just projecting it out there and reacting. That's what we do. We project and then we react. And we project and then we react. They said this and this, and I feel this and this about it. Okay, and so when you start to be proactive rather than reactive, like you're now setting the stage, you're deciding what's going to happen, and whatever anyone else is doing around you doesn't mean, not going to swear, but it means nothing. And when you have that change of perspective, like nothing really gets to you, no past, no childhood, no comment, no anything really gets to you, you really have that shift of perspective of life, then the rest is history. The rest is just pure beauty. Then the sun comes out. Then joy really is yours to have. There's a unicorn here. So there's your, like, Pisces is on its way to just come into their unicornness, where you just do not give what other people think anymore. You're not reacting, you're proactive. You're working on it beforehand so that it just doesn't affect you anymore. I'm going to take this into the extension and see what else I can find there for you, going deeper into this message. So if you feel like this is your journey, this is your story, it's a very specific story here today. So let's see if you resonate with it and if you want to come along to the extension. If you do, read about it in the description box. There's two ways to get there. Read whatever fits you better. If not, thank you so much for watching, Pisces. I hope to see you back soon. Take care, guys.